you've been waiting for the real estate market to crash, you might have to wait quite a bit longer. Today, I'm talking about 4 main reasons that our real estate market is built on solid ground.
I keep it real, I keep it real, I keep it real, just keep it real.
Hey guys, it's Sam Hartman, keeping it real estate here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I always hear the conversation pieces. There's been a lot of news headlines over the last 2 to 3 years about the real estate market is on the verge of collapse. And I think a lot of people want to buy into that idea because of the recency bias of our last recession. Think back to 2008. That was a recession that was specifically caused by the housing and the lending institutions. And so it severely affected the housing market as a whole across the nation. I want to highlight one key statistic though up front that I always like to highlight because real estate is hyper local. And so when it comes to our local Fort Wayne, Indiana real estate market, during the housing market crash of 2008, the national average home price reduced by 20% during that crash. In Fort Wayne, Indiana, our market had a price reduction of only 5%. So keep that in mind. I think Fort Wayne, Indiana is a phenomenally conservative market. Our highs are not as high, but our lows are not as low. So regardless of what happens in the real estate market on a national perspective, I think Fort Wayne is poised to have a conservative and positive response. So let's jump into these 4 main reasons why the housing market is not poised for another crash. And reason number 1 is it's harder to get a loan today. The lending standards have changed over the years and they got wise. The government got wise and slapped a lot of regulation and stipulations on the lending industries. Leading up to 2008, it was very easy to get a mortgage for a home, even a second home, a third home. They called them ninja loans. No income, no job. Ninja. That's how easy it was to get a mortgage leading up to 2008. But today, the lending standards are so much stricter. They're lending to stronger, more viable buyers that if economic uncertainty does hit us in our market, those buyers and homeowners are in a stronger situation to maintain their mortgage payments and not default into foreclosure, making the market healthy and strong. Factor number 2 is unemployment. During the 2008 recession, unemployment was over 6% for a 6-year period. That's a pretty exaggerated time frame to have the unemployment that high. Government usually shoots to have under 4% unemployment to be considered full employment. Now, from the recession of the pandemic, we had a large spike in unemployment, higher than the 2008 recession, but it was a very short-lived spike in unemployment. We were under 3.5% unemployment rate before the pandemic, and less than 2 years later, we were back under 3.5% unemployment, and we've stayed there ever since then. So the fact that people are keeping, maintaining jobs is another reason that our market is on strong footing. The third factor, and I've talked about this many times, is supply and demand. So interest rates have risen and that's affected the demand of buyers out there in today's market. But the supply and availability of homes for sale remains extremely low. So until something happens where that drastically changes to put more supply into the market or way less demand into the market and evens those things out, we don't expect this supply chain to change anytime soon. There's a lot of factors leading to the shortage of homes available for sale, and a big reason for that is because of the housing crash of 2008. Think of all the builders that were building homes in those days. A lot of them either went out of business or closed up shop and decided to do something else. And so we had a decade of under construction across the United States. And now that there are buyers coming back to the market in droves, the millennial generation is now at their prime earning years, ready to grow their families, start their families, and begin their path of home ownership. Those homes aren't available for them. New construction is trying to keep up, but they just can't build homes fast enough. And so the supply of homes is the third reason that our real estate market is, again, strong for years to come. And last but not least, let's talk about homeowner equity. Over recent years, we've seen huge price appreciation in real estate markets all across the United States. So homeowners today have more equity in their homes than ever before. And guess what happens? People don't get foreclosed on, people don't get in as much financial problems when they have equity in their home because they have an asset that they can leverage to help themselves weather the storm and find their way out of financial troubles. In a worst case scenario, if a homeowner finds themselves in dire financial constraints, most homeowners are going to be able to sell their property and make a pretty penny on the sale to help them move forward and take next steps in their lives. So because of that record equity in homeowners across the United States, we are not seeing a wave of foreclosures. We're not concerned about a wave of foreclosures coming in the near future. So these are just 4 reasons why our market is on strong footing today and why really I don't expect a huge drastic change in the next 5 years to come. My advice for a home buyer in today's market is to buy the home that you can afford. Look at the interest rate, look at what your payment is going to be, buy the home that you can afford because we're looking at great appreciation in the next 5-year window to come. So the sooner you can get in that home, the more that you can benefit from the wealth, growth, and generation that being a homeowner provides to you. I hope this information is helpful, guys. Make sure you like, comment, or share this video with a loved one who might need this information in hand. And remember, keep it real estate out there.
I keep it real, just keep it real.